speaking of who, what are all the things that you need to know about the customer before you start selling? Well, we will define all of those things in these 4 main categories. So what you actually need to know about your customer before you start selling to your customer is about its conditions, limits, needs, and possibilities. Now, what do we mean when we say we need to know about the conditions? Well, knowing about conditions is knowing about what your customer does, where he lives, what are the jobs that he's daily encountering. If your customer is an NGO, what is this NGO doing? What is this NGO's products are? What are the target audiences or objectives of this NGO? If we're talking about students, it's about talking about where does this person study and what are the goals or objectives that he has with his student life, but also what are the conditions that surround his student life in general. Speaking about limits, this is where we start going into the pains and defining what are the pains that our customer has. So what are the things that are stopping him from achieving his desired future, from achieving his desired objectives? What are the things that could prevent him from being the best version of himself? Like, so if you're talking about students, for example, what are the limits that they have from finding this ideal job after they finish studying, or from achieving their goals, whatever their goals are? Or if you're talking about NGO, what are the things that are stopping them, or schools, what are the things that are stopping them from being successful? What are the problems that they're encountering in their daily life? And then talking about needs, we start going deeper into like, okay, what would they actually need in order to be successful? What would they need in order to reach their objectives, reach their goals? What kind of things are out there that could be helping them out, could be helping them resolve the problems that they are facing daily? And then last thing, which is probably one of the most important ones, is defining the possibilities, because it is important that we also know what are the resources which our customers have in order to be able to purchase our product. So speaking of students, for example, possibilities are amount of time that they have to travel for an international experience, or amount of money that they have to spend on international experience. So speaking about schools or NGOs, what are the resources that they could use to realize projects with us? And not knowing these possibilities is actually being blind in offering something to someone that he cannot afford. Imagine going in suburbs of a very poor city and trying to sell iPhones there. It wouldn't be impossible, right? So you need to know the possibilities, and knowing possibilities also goes with knowing another thing, which is how the decision-making process works. So what do you need to know about the customer? Summing it up, you need to know what are its conditions, so where is he and what he wants to achieve, what are his limits, so what stops him, what are his needs, what could allow him to get there, and then what are the possibilities that he has to interact with the products, and how the decision-making process works, who makes the decision, and what are the factors that are influencing the decision. Knowing all of those things is actually what is going to enable you to do the perfect sales, which is something that we will be exploring later throughout this academy.